Greetings, everyone, and welcome. Welcome back at long last to another stream, which I finally found a little bit of time to do, although I feel a little bit guilty about it because there's still a bunch of things for the guide that I probably should be doing instead, but I need a break. I need a few hours to do something that is not working on the guide. So here I am. How are all of you doing? I hope everybody is well and safe. And hopefully not too hungry. I'm not too hungry because I just finally finished my week's worth of meal prep. Which is another thing that, in many ways, was a nice little break from writing. Well, thank you, Batajiri. It's nice to be seen again. I tell you what, this guide, as much as I enjoy the work that I do with Future Press, this project has gone on for near 9 months now. We started doing actual writing probably the end of last November, the beginning of December, thereabouts, and we're still writing. The first book is fixing to go to print fairly soon. And the second book probably won't take anywhere near as long as the first one did, just because of the type of information that it has in it. But, Floofin, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. And yes, it is a long time. Even the next longest project that I've done with Future Press, other than this one, still only took about maybe 3.5 months, and that was the Horizon Zero Dawn book. So this is unprecedented, and it's been like 8.5, 9 months of just constant, and I mean constant work. And on one hand, it's been nice to have plenty to do. I've never gotten bored this entire time, but you know they say variety is the spice of life, and there hasn't been an awful lot of opportunity for variety these past months. So my main commitment was to the project, and I promised them that I would make myself available sufficiently to, you know, make my involvement worthwhile for everybody. But every now and then, I just need to take a break and get back to streaming and be with my community. And Devilish, thank you for the resub. Welcome back. Good to see you. Boy, now I need to catch up on chat and make sure I didn't miss anything. Ah, very good, Batajiri. It's nice to be able to order delivery. Taco Bell and then Yardworks, Sinister Robot? I don't know, I feel like that's going to make for some very uncomfortable yard work. Hello, Tramer, welcome. Well, and I don't want to be away from you guys for too long either, Sinister Robot. First of all, I don't want anyone thinking I'm dead. We don't need that to happen again. It's already happened more times than it ever had any right to happen. That was my own fault for not keeping tabs on things, but... Oh, you're one of those people with an iron stomach, are you, Sinister Robot? I envy you. Well, Nightshade, I mean... As old as I am, and as old as I feel sometimes, I have a while yet before old age is going to be something that I have to worry about actually being a threat. Although, speaking of which, getting back to the game at hand, some of you who were here last time might recall that that this game has been a bit of a wild ride. We spent, or I spent, and I mean, I guess by extension the rest of you spent, 6.5 or 7 hours out of the previous 8-hour stream doing 9 pages worth of tutorial missions in the starting town, followed by me going into one dungeon, making it a few floors in, and getting shot to death by a guy in a tank and having to be rescued, which... Hey, Miros! Now there's a username I haven't seen for way too long. How are you doing, friend? I hope all is well. Great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Ah, very good, Mortiferu. That sounds healthy. Yeah, Floofin, I feel badly that I put everybody through that. I'm sorry. I wanted to learn how to play the game, but then I forgot that this is a JRPG and a Japanese game in general, and that Japanese games have a tendency to treat the player like a complete moron and to just exhaustively explain every meaningless detail to you like you're too stupid to figure it out yourself. And Sadak and Nate, thank you both for the resubs. Welcome back. Great to see you guys. Oh, GenCon, Debler. How is that going? I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, I imagine you're probably out on the show floor enjoying yourself right now, Debler. But thank you for stopping in to say hi. It's great to see you. You know, Floofin, I really feel like that depends on the community. Communities with less mature audiences, yeah, you tend to run into more of those kinds of people. I mean, I guess every community has at least some, but... all of that to say, I ended up suffering a really embarrassing death in the very first dungeon I attempted. After, like, 6.5 or 7 hours of nothing but tutorials, the first dungeon I walked into, I just got absolutely destroyed. And, interestingly enough, this game has a mechanic where other people can rescue you. They can go into the dungeon that you got killed in, get to the floor that you got killed on, find your corpse, and I guess raise you or throw you a revival herb or whatever it is. And it turned out that somebody who was in chat last time actually did that for me. I don't see their username in chat now, but if you're here, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Sadak, have a good one. Thank you so much for stopping in. No problem, Debler. We'll have to catch up sometime and you can tell me how it went. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, Mortiferu, people have done some really creative things hacking those old Pokemon games. It's nice that the tools for doing that are as accessible as they are now. Because I'll tell you what keeps a game alive way beyond its original release life is mods. That's the only reason anybody still plays Skyrim or Oblivion, really. And it's a large part of the reason, even, that as many people still play the earlier Souls games as they do. That and speedruns, I guess, but... anyway, so... after being very kindly revived by somebody from chat, and I wish I could remember the username, it wasn't one of my regulars, it was someone whom I remember thinking that it was the first time I'd seen them in chat. But after being rescued by that kind Samaritan, I finished the dungeon, and then came back to town and put the controller down and figured, well, I'd probably better wait until I have a chance to stream again before I play this anymore. Oh, very good, Batajiri. I guess in many ways you're lucky that your order was correct, and that the delivery driver hadn't eaten half of it before delivering it to you. But now that we're back, we're ready to go. We've got a weapon and a shield and a bracelet that I found in the dungeon. Although, apparently, this particular weapon and shield are powered by money. Like, they consume money each time you hit an enemy or get hit. And if you run out of money, they, I guess, stop working, so... Yeah, it's about time, Batojiri. I've heard of a lot of cases of that happening. And not just in one country, either. I've heard of it happening a lot in America, but I've heard of cases of it here in the EU as well. Yeah, Devilish, it tends to happen with companies that don't treat their delivery drivers very well, where the drivers don't have a chance to get their own meals, or where they have to work really long shifts and they're overworked, or alternatively where the drivers aren't vetted properly and they're just people who don't know how to behave professionally. All right, yeah, we're probably going to need to withdraw some money in order that we don't run out of power for these weapons. I hope 2,500 gold is enough. Well, Floofin, except that you get the service before you give the tip. So if you order delivery for the first time, and only half of your order actually makes it, and you look in the bag and the containers are open, and there are like 3 bites taken out of your sandwich, you're sure as hell not leaving a tip. So it kinda goes the other way around there. Really, Nightshade? That blatantly? Well, you're very fortunate then, Devilish. I mean, I'm not saying it's a really common occurrence, but I've heard about it happening often enough that it's not exactly a rare thing either. It's definitely a problem, and it's definitely something that... I mean, it does need to be cracked down on, yes, but there need to be better conditions for those delivery drivers, too. No, Aging Young Rebel, you haven't missed anything, unless you were not here for the stream like 3.5 weeks ago. I am working on the official strategy guide for Elden Ring, Rebel, and that project has been taking up pretty much all of my spare time since last November, and it is still going on. Glitter Bomb videos, Lemon Lover? I don't believe I have. Oh, okay, Devilish, then that's probably a large part of the reason why. Because, yeah, it tends to happen with third-party delivery services. DoorDash, Uber Eats, those kinds of companies. PS2 Girl, hello, welcome! I am very tired, PS2 Girl. How about yourself? How are you doing? I have not had the pleasure of your presence here for... well, it's been a long time. I've lost track, in fact, of how long it's been, because I haven't been able to stream because of the guide. What have we here, Sugar Crow? I'm guessing this is a picture of a cat. And it appears the same is true for this one, Mortiferu. Yes, indeed. Oh, jeez. Yes, I appreciate pictures of cute cats. And dogs, or, you know, whatever pet you happen to have. Mortiferu, that is a long cat. In fact, I'm beginning to think that that's not a cat, but just a cat-shaped accordion. Ah, thanks, Rebel. I don't think congratulations are really in order. Not anymore. I've done enough projects with Future Press that I'm a semi-regular there. I do pick and choose which gigs I take. Like, I got offered an opportunity to work on, what game was it? I think it was, It was an Assassin's Creed game. I can't remember which one. And I have zero interest in Assassin's Creed, so I turned it down. But when the offer came up for Elden Ring, I was like, well, I kind of have to take this. I'm basically obligated. Oh, okay, Lemon Lover. I haven't watched them, but I've heard them mentioned. Probably from people in my community. So I am vaguely familiar. Yeah, that looks about right, Mortiferu. Cats will just stuff themselves into any nook. Wherever they fit, or wherever they think they fit. Jeez, Floofin, I'm sorry to hear that. You did not, Devilish. But I think I remember one or the other of you mentioning to me that you two had hung out and done some activity together. PS2 girl, I'm sorry to hear that things are not as good as they could be. But maybe there's something I can do to help. I mean, hopefully I can provide a little bit of entertainment. I hope that that will help too, but... hopefully this will as well. Jeez, Floofin. Unbelievable. Rebel, so I understand where Marcus is coming from. And to his credit, he played all the way through the game before he made his final decision on it. You know, no one can claim he didn't give it a fair shake. And I agree with a fair number of his criticisms of it. There are things about it that I just don't personally prefer. But I also think it's a tremendous step up from Dark Souls 3. And I think while FromSoft has still managed not to learn some of the important lessons that I think they need to learn, they have begun to learn others. It's a slow process with Japanese game developers, because they're very resistant to change, and they tend to rely very heavily on formulas that have worked for them in the past. So you don't tend to see a lot of innovation over there, or even a lot of correction of things that haven't worked. But Elden Ring is a significant step up from Dark Souls 3, and certainly from Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. But yeah, I have some significant criticisms of it as well. But I, for one, don't hate it. I mean, I would rather play Elden Ring than Dark Souls 2. Oh, I see, Devilish. That was awfully nice of her. Yeah, Kanamai, was it you that Charlie was talking to during her stream the other day? Where someone told her that they'd played almost to the end of Elden Ring and then dropped it right before the end. Was that you? Well, they definitely added a lot of QOL that didn't exist in the previous games, Ghost Mutton. And Floofin, thank you so much for the gift sub to Batojiri. I really appreciate that. Batojiri, when you say the state of gaming, I can think of like 7 or 8 different things that you could be referring to. You're gonna have to be a bit more specific, I'm afraid. Like, are we talking the general drying up of innovation in the game industry? Are we talking the widespread political upheaval? Are we talking the pandemic? Like, what part of the problem are we referring to? Ah, very good, Sugar Crow. It was kind of you to pay it forward. Well, Aki, that's the problem with snow areas in pretty nearly any game, is the color palette is pretty much always the same. And it's a little bit hard to look at. Gotcha, Katamai, I see. Yes, Benji, I've been one of the main contributors, in fact. I've been working on that book, or those books, I should say, since last November. Yeah, Rebel, some people love the open world, and some people can't stand it. I mean, if you got used to the more closed and smaller environments of the other Souls games, then I can understand it being a bit jarring. Yeah, Lemon Lover, I've heard all sorts of wildly different opinions about it. Some of those opinions were very well supported with carefully thought out arguments and salient points, and others were, well, not. But there definitely are all sorts of opinions about it. Oh, Mortiferro, Izalith hurt everybody's eyes. They certainly didn't make it any better in the remaster, and in some ways they made it almost worse. Aki, I think that, despite my criticisms, one thing they did a very good job of with Elden Ring was the Legacy Dungeons. I mean, of course, the Legacy Dungeons are literally just larger Souls-style dungeons. So that was probably the least innovative thing they did in that game, but maybe that explains why they did such a good job of it. Because, yeah, the Legacy Dungeons just feel like more classic Souls. Oh, I gotcha, Batojiri. I see. That does narrow it down, Batojiri. I appreciate the clarification. Yeah, Akime, I'm kind of surprised that more of the Legacy Dungeons didn't. But then again, there were a bunch of systems in Elden Ring that I feel like were really only there because FromSoft thought they were cool and wanted to carry them over from previous games. Like, the crouching and the stealth, those had an actual purpose in Sekiro, but they're really pretty pointless in Elden Ring. They're just a vestige of a prior game that FromSoft went, yeah, we like that. Why not? Let's put it in. And I mean, it doesn't really hurt the game. It just doesn't add anything. Which is still a better case scenario than, yeah, we decided to carry over this terrible system. Yo, you guys like Soul Memory? Really glad they didn't bring that back. Although, of course, they did bring back that god-awful matchmaking system where they calculate not only your soul level, but your weapon upgrade levels. But they seem inseparably attached to that now. I don't think they're ever going to do away with it, unfortunately. Hey, Undead Medic, welcome! Good to see you! Well, Aki, it's all relative, right? Jumping is an innovation by FromSoft standards. Elden Ring is the first Souls game, and yes, it is a Souls game. I know it's not part of the mainline Souls franchise, but it's a Souls game, come on. But yeah, it's the first one that actually had a dedicated jump function. So, by FromSoft's reckoning, that counts as innovation. Not in the grand scheme, obviously, but... Well, Ghost Mutton, there are ways around that, but you don't gain access to those ways until the very end of the game. Yeah, mine too, Benji, and because they added the dedicated jump button and a couple of other inputs as well that are new to the Souls games, they changed it so that now you no longer are able to just press the triangle button on the PlayStation controller to two-hand your weapon. You have to hold triangle and press L1 or R1, which took me ages to get used to. Angle, Artcat, welcome to both of you. Good to see you. Penn Station, East Coast... Patragiri, are we talking the Penn Station in New York City? Like, are you going to a food kiosk at Penn Station, or am I missing something? Well, Angle, that's not your fault. I just haven't had a chance to stream in ages, due to work on the guide. Hey, Plus on Black, welcome, good to see you. Oh, it's a sandwich franchise. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I suppose it's only fair that I take a little bit of time to catch up with everyone before we dive into the game. Because you guys know me, I can't focus on playing and talking to save my life. I don't know how I ended up getting this far as a Twitch broadcast. The only reason I ever even got partnered was because I already met a prerequisite number of YouTube subs to be fast-tracked to partner status on Twitch when I applied for it like 7 years ago. I'd never make it in today. Certainly not on the merits of my ability to divide my attention. Oh, Irv passed that on to you. Okay, Angle. Well, I guess I owe him a thanks next time I talk to him. I hope he's doing okay, too. Very good, Aki. I hope you got some tea that you enjoyed. Well, thanks, Medic. I'm glad somebody thinks so. Frankly, I'm amazed that this many people are willing to stick around to watch me forget to play the game while I just talk to chat. Okay, Batojiri, that's fair. I appreciate a sandwich shop that maybe costs a little more, but that puts in the extra effort for quality. Well, Sisu, I'm comforted to know it's not just me. Hello, Adamy, welcome! Alright, I think that this is the way to the actual dungeon? I'm not 100% sure, actually, because the only other dungeons I've done were what I believe were optional dungeons in here. So actually... I think, yes, this is a shop. Let's see if there's anything here that looks useful. Rusty pickaxes. Oh, you know what? There's food. I probably should grab some food. And I don't think anything else looks useful, but I'm going to withdraw a little bit more money. Oh, no, not deposit. Withdraw. Because I apparently need to feed my weapons. Really, Artcat? You've never had a sandwich you liked other than peanut butter and jelly? You need to come visit me so that I can make you a real sandwich. I mean, not that peanut butter and jelly isn't a real sandwich. It is. In fairness to PB&J, I lived off of PB&J for years of elementary school. Because that was, if not all my parents could afford, it was at least all they were willing to spend money on. So, PB&J sustained me for quite a while at lunch in school. Okay, you know what? Actually, I think it would probably be worth trying to figure out exactly how much money I have to spend when I attack an enemy or get hit by an enemy. Oh, Denim! Welcome, good to see you. We only actually just started. I've spent literally every moment up until you just arrived catching up with chat. Denim, since you just got here, let me fill you in since you were here for the last stream. You might recall, Denim, that at the end of the last stream, I went into an optional dungeon and got blown up by a dude in a tank, and ended up ending the stream, leaving Shiren to get rescued. And it turned out, one of the people who was there for that stream did actually rescue me. So, I finished that dungeon, I made it all the way out of that dungeon with the stuff I had, and, then I saved the game and put it down and decided to wait until I could stream again to pick it back up. So we are picking up from exactly where we left off last time. And I still have the weapon and shield that I got in that dungeon. Yeah, I did, Denim. One of the guys who was here for the previous stream apparently performed the rescue. It's a cool system. I have to say, I appreciate it. My business partner is a really good blacksmith. Drop off your weapons or shields with me, and I can take it to him and get it upgraded for you. That sounds cool, but if I let go of my weapon or shield, then I have nothing else to use. So I guess I would have to come back here with a backup, and I don't know, are the NPCs that show up in this area oh, well, okay, you know what? I take it back. There's just a random weapon lying on the ground. Where'd that lady go? Come to think of it, why are there random NPCs wandering around an area filled with monsters? These people don't look like fighters. Right, I guess we'll just, we'll give her this and see how upgraded it gets. Because I'm sure not letting go of my main weapons. Really, Artcat? Artcat, can I ask? And you don't have to answer this if it's too personal a question. Normally it's the other way around. It's viewers asking the streamer too personal a question, but... Artcat, when I lived in America, I had a friend, a girl I worked with, who had a condition where there were certain foods that she just could not eat because they would literally cause her tongue to develop hives. It seemed like it was mostly acidic foods, tomatoes, and those kinds of things. Is it anything like that, or is it just sometimes you don't enjoy the taste of stuff? Batojiri, I would not be the least bit surprised if the Nutella you get in the US has extra sugar in it. I mean, I don't like Nutella, so I've never eaten it in the United States, and I've only ever eaten it here in Germany when I was with company that expected me to. But... oh, they're random, and if you accidentally hit them... really? They'll attack you if you hit them. But yet, they don't interact with monsters. Well, that's kind of silly. Well, yeah, PS2 girl, but why would a... and there's another random NPC. Why would a blacksmith be wandering around a dungeon? I would expect to find them at a forge. Hello, my father is the iron upgrader. You can leave an item with me for him to up... again! It's the same thing! What is going on here? And these people aren't actually blacksmith. I think the previous lady said that the blacksmith was a friend of hers. And this girl is telling us that it's her father. So, like, why are these blacksmiths just randomly sending their friends and family members off to a dungeon to just bumble around until some protagonist comes wandering by and then hustle him for weapon upgrades? I guess maybe I just answered my own question. Maybe it's all just part of one gigantic hustle. Yeah, Yep, monsters do not appear to care about these NPCs. Hello, Eridin! Welcome! Monsters interact with them? No, they don't, Denim. I haven't seen a single monster attack any of these NPCs. But now that we do have a... Oh, we've got a tin shield. Oh, you know what, though? I can't afford to give her anything because I'm already almost out of money. And I still have to figure out how much money it costs. Alright, hang on. I need to pay attention to this. Unremarkable, in the cases of foods that are sold both in the US and elsewhere, as often as not, if not more often, yeah, stuff that is sold in the US will have extra sugar added to it. Or else it will have, different ingredients in one way or another. Yeah, salt too, Medic. That's a good point. Gotcha, Art Cat. Okay. Well, I can appreciate that, Art Cat. I had a lot of trouble with, not so much flavors, but textures when I was a kid. Oh, for goodness sake. No sooner do I get super status than a freaking trap sandbag. I mean, not that I really need it, but... Alright. I said I was going to try to focus. Eridin, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Right, we've got 318. And now we have 168. So that's what, 150? Oh, for goodness sake! Yeesh. Okay, yeah, that's pretty expensive. Okay, we've got an ordinary pot. Oh, I see, Denim. So it's one of those stupid situations, then, where the NPCs and monsters don't actually interact with one another, but if there is an incidental situation where an NPC just happens to be in between you and a monster that uses a projectile or something, the NPC is considered a valid target. I gotcha. You also ventured here to reshape your own destiny. I came all the way here thinking that maybe I could change my life. But you know what? I'm just tired of it. Nothing goes right. My plans are always half-assed. Before I came here, I bought a lot and ended up with a big loser. Which just puts me... Oh, when he says a lot, he means he bought a lottery ticket. Yeah, this appears to be some translation weirdness going on. Lady Luck has forsaken me. My life sucks. Right when I was about to give up, you talked to me and it changed my mind. Talking to you gives me the courage to push on with my life. It's like something deep inside me just burst out. It makes me want to work harder, too. I can't give up here. I'll stand up. I'll stand up because no one is born a loser. I think we were destined to meet here. That's what I'd like to believe. So please help me. Can you lend me... Oh. 500 Gitan. With that much, I can pay my debts and redo my life. Please, pretty please. I'll never ask for anything else, honest. Yeah, you know what? I believe you. But I don't have enough money. Artcat, I suspect I might be able to shed some light on the reason for that. And it's kind of sad, and this... I don't intend this to sound condescending just in case it comes across that way. That's not how I mean it at all. But things like real cheese, and when I say real cheese, I mean cheese that isn't processed or a facsimile of cheese, like Velveeta or American cheese, but like actual cheese, you know, Swiss or, I don't know, Camembert, Brie, blue cheese, those sorts of cheeses. Cheeses that are made through natural processes, I guess. You know, fermentation and that sort of thing. And you know, cultures, rennet. Those kinds of cheeses tend to have fairly complex flavors. And they tend to have flavors that in many cases can be overpowering. A lot of cheeses are made from sheep's milk or goat's milk, which also have kind of a very strong gamey flavor of their own. And while many people like that, many other people find it overpowering. Whereas processed cheeses are very homogeneous, not only in terms of their texture, but their flavor. And the flavor that they get is... I mean, it's really the result of chemical engineering in such a way as to appeal to a very basic variety of tastes. And when I say basic, I'm not trying to say unsophisticated. I just mean people who prefer simple flavors rather than complex ones. So I have... Archon, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. I really appreciate that. It's like you've only watched one of my streams. Well, I think I've only done one stream in the 3 months you've been subscribed. I apologize. I wish I'd been around more often. But yeah, ArtCat, I suspect probably you're better able to tolerate the stuff like Velveeta and processed cheese because they don't have the complexity or the strength of flavor that that actual cheeses have. And if you have a really sensitive palate, then it's totally understandable that you would want to avoid complex or overpowering flavors. I totally get that, and I can't blame you at all. Hello, Andre. Welcome. Yay, wait, you don't have that much money yourself. This is the end for me. I'm gone with the wind. Well, maybe you can do what the rest of us do and get a job. In this economy, you could even work from home. Wait a minute. Now I have enough. Now I don't. I just can't win. Oh, now I have enough. Oh, for goodness sake. What? My God. Okay, now the devs are just playing tricks on me. Alright, where is that loser? There he is. Please help me. If you forsake me, how could you go to sleep at night? You'd feel terrible. It'd be... Well, no, I wouldn't. Lend me 500 Gitan. Please, God, anyone. You better take it while the taking's good, dude. 'Cause... Oh, thank you. Now I can start my life over. You're my... This idiot's just gonna go buy more lottery tickets. Hunter, I'm not saying Americans are basic. Somebody else just said in chat and made a very good point that... it was Warrior, yeah. America does do cheddar, right? There you go. Yeah, especially white cheddar. I prefer white cheddar over the yellow kind. Neo Shadow, welcome back. It's good to see you too. Thank you so much. I'm a big fan of Gouda. Devilish. I certainly, I appreciate it. Sauce made from camembert. That's an interesting idea, Devilish. What are you making? Floofin, like I said, I'm not saying all Americans are basic. A purple cat? Oh, okay, yeah, we went from doing 40 damage to now doing 10 damage. So not having enough money with this equipment hurts. Literally. Oh, okay, Devilish. I was thinking it was going to be one of those quests where, like, next time we see him, he wants 1,000, and then the time after that, he wants 2,000, and then 4,000. Now, Medic, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending Americans as a whole. Just clarifying what I did and did not... Holy hell, 9 damage? Yeesh. Okay, I think it might be time for a heal. My God. Now I'm taking 10 damage. Boy, this place got dangerous fast. Yeah, Erevan, I know. I should have brought more, I guess. What? Oh. Okay, we got a preservation pot. I think I probably... Wait, what? When did these... Oh, they went rotten? For goodness sake. Okay, well... I guess I'll put what isn't rotten. Oh, very good, Devilish. I approve. Well, Bato Judy, I didn't want to be the one to say it. But I'm not gonna fight you. Well, PS2 Girl, in fairness, this is also the only game where I've ever gotten stuck using weapons that were literally powered by money. That literally devour money out of my wallet every time I hit an enemy or get hit by an enemy. Well, Medic, all I can say is you were doing a service to your country. On top of all the other service you already did for your country. I appreciate that about you, Medic. You're a patriot in more ways than one. Alright, what is this purple cat thing? One of the 7 colored cats. This cat is colored purple like the break of day? What? In what universe is the break of day purple? Gather all 7 colored cats and go to a designated location to have a wish granted. Oh, I don't think I've ever had that type of Rockfort Devilish. Yeah, Medic, my mother is that way. I don't know how I managed to end up with such different tastes from both her and my father. But my mother, Medic, she'll buy a container of mild salsa and complain how spicy it is. And meanwhile, I'll be eating the spicy salsa and barely able to taste any heat. Although, to my mother's credit, she at least is willing to try new foods, where I know a lot of people who are exactly as you describe. Just anything that isn't familiar to them, anything they don't recognize, just the psychological fear of the unknown is enough to make them decide that they hate it before they've even tried it. You can't go wrong with sushi, Floofin, as long as you've got a place near you that does it well. Wait a minute, Did that enemy just increase my maximum strength? It looks like it did. Okay, thanks, I guess. Oh, okay, Devilish. I see. It's a dish. Oh, then yeah, Floofin, go for the sushi. You know, Medic, it's funny you say that, because I've had all different sorts of curry, but Caribbean curry is the one kind that I've not found any proper place that makes it. I would have to make it myself at home, and I'm not familiar enough with it from having tried it at places that actually know how to make it to be able to even identify an authentic recipe versus an inauthentic one. And I've always wanted to try Caribbean curry. I've heard Wooly describe Caribbean curry on more than one occasion, and I'm interested. Queens, Denim. Okay, well, Queens is a bit of a trip from Berlin, but next time I'm in the area, I will remember that. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm okay with Jamaican-style curry, Medic. I mean, I don't know how different curry is in other parts of the Caribbean. Like, I know that Trinidad and Tobago have their own variations of some of the common street foods in that part of the world. But I'm ashamed to admit that I'm not familiar with either the cultures or the cuisines in that part of the world to have a good sense of how different they are from island to island. Wow, Floofin. You should see if they have some kind of customer loyalty program. I mean, I doubt they do, but you should take advantage of it if there is one. Well, yeah, Denim, that's just it. I don't know why, but there don't seem to be any restaurants, at least none near me, and frankly, there were none anywhere I've ever lived. None in Connecticut. I haven't run into any in Germany or anywhere else in Europe. Caribbean curry does not seem to be something that you can get at restaurants, for the most part, outside of the Caribbean. Again, at least not anywhere I've ever lived. Gotcha, Medic. See, goat curry I can get on board with. I don't mind goat. I just like curry. Medic, what do you mean goat curry is the reason you're fat? Goat's one of the leanest meats. Well, Devilish, that's why I say it, because I've been to a couple of places that had that kind of thing, too. As far as sushi restaurants go, the places that tend to have those systems are usually kaiten sushi restaurants, conveyor belt sushi. But I mean, take it when you can get it, right? Not when you eat 2 bowls of it? I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're talking about the calories, Medic, then sure, but I can't imagine goat curry being a terribly fattening food. Although I guess that depends on what else is in it. Magnus, hey, how you doing, man? Great to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Well, sure, Denim, but the serving size isn't the only factor. I mean, what you're eating matters as well. Part of the reason I haven't gained any weight in probably years is because if I'm really hungry and I want to stuff my face with something, I'll have a reasonable amount of stuff that I really like, and then I'll just stuff my face the rest of the way with salad. And that way, I don't feel like a pig. I mean, not that I really feel any sort of guilt about that sort of thing anyway, but I do care about my own health, so I make the effort. What do you mean you just fitted an eye patch, Magnus? I thought you were done in the medical field. Or did you fit one on yourself? Oh, okay, Medic. I gotcha. Well, Sisu, pigs will eat anything that's not nailed down, and even some things that are. One of my father's friends used to keep pigs. He used to raise them for pork, actually. And every now and then, I would accompany my father to visit this particular friend of his, and occasionally, during those visits, I would help feed the pigs. And boy, they were not picky about what they ate. Mind you, those particular pigs ate very well. He would feed them slops. And the slops that he fed them tended to include basically just table scraps from his own kitchen. So they'd get things like cinnamon buns and, you know, carrot tops and offcuts of meat. Well, Floofin, maybe chat up the owners a little bit more. Socializing goes a long way. Oh, yikes, Magnus. I'm sorry to hear that. That is awful. Yeah, bugs in the house are the worst. That is no fun. Well, Artcat, there are plenty of people who don't eat bacon for one reason or another. Yeah, Denim, it was actually kind of economical for him because he had 5 or 6 walking garbage disposals at any given time. And he didn't even really need a compost pile. And he would use the manure to fertilize his garden. And then the pigs would become meat. So it was sort of a self-sufficient arrangement. Well, no, you're correct about that, Batajiri. It's not. You have to go to a specialty breeder that raises heritage breeds and that is more careful about how those pigs are cared for as they're being raised. Which, of course, increases the price. That's one of the reasons the EU doesn't generally import meat from the US, because of the difference in quality standards. Oh, that always sucks, Medic, when you've developed a rapport at a restaurant, and then you move, and you can't go to the restaurant anymore. I've gone through that a few times. It's depressing, really. Okay, I got some rocks. I think I can equip these, right? Set? Yeah? And then, if I remember correctly... Oh, okay. Oh, right! Those things eat stuff you throw at them and then explode. I forgot. Stomach expander. That's the last thing I need. Yeah, Mortiferu, which is why my father's friend... would always end up with really good quality pork, because he fed his pigs stuff that was not just cheap, high-carbohydrate, industrial pig food. Oh, okay, I'm hungry. Oh, are you somewhere inland, Medic? 'Cause yeah, that'll do it. Also, hang on, I meant to... There we go. Guys, if you don't already know my friend Magnus Mark I, go check him out. He's a great guy. And if you enjoy horror games, he's definitely somebody you want to follow. Oh, I remember you mentioning that, Floofin. I think it might have been while you were still living there. Yeah, the Great Lakes are a fantastic place for seafood. Last Remnant. I've heard the name of it, Magnus, but I don't know anything about it. Matter of fact, I think I might have heard it from you. Oh, Central Florida. Okay, Medic, gotcha. So, alligator is easy for you to get, but if you want tuna, you've got a harder time. I see. Okay, I guess these grass guys must just always drop herbs. Alright then. Oh! Wow, okay. I see this place incorporates every conceivable symbol of luck. My god. So this is Riva's Tower, the legendary Tower of Fortune. Shiren, be careful. The God of Destiny rules this place. Anything could happen in here. Neither have I, Batajiri, but I've always wanted to try it. Ah, gotcha, Magnus. Sounds like maybe an early prototype. Mortiferu, you scared me for a second there. You didn't indicate a unit of measurement for the chicken. So for a moment, I thought you were saying that when you do your strength workout, you eat 120 chickens. Towers of the past, present, and future. You can enter whichever one you want. You have to conquer all 3 of them and gather the dice of fate, or you won't be able to go atop the tower. What are you? I'm Tao. I'm a part-time guide for the Tower of Wait, hang on. A part-time guide for the Tower of Fortune. Who do you work for exactly? Do you wish to challenge the Tower of Fortune? Then I, Tao, shall be your guide. The tower to your left is the Tower of the Past. The denizens there aren't so strong. I would recommend starting there. In the center, we have the Tower of the Present. The monsters there a bit more fierce, so I'd suggest tackling the Tower of the Past first. Yeah, I've noticed a little bit of wonkiness in this localization. Collect some strong weapons and equipment before you head for the Tower of the Present. Finally, on your right is the Tower of the Future. That one's tough. You can start there if you want, but unless you know what you're doing, that's not a great idea. I strongly recommend against going into that one first. Well, that's what they usually say. Well, that ends the free section of the tour. Would you like to hire me, Tao, as your guide? If you hire me as a guide, I'll join you as an ally, and it'll be a huge help to you. No need to be shy. My guide fee is a mere 15... God! Why did I have to bring these stupid weapons that eat money? Gotcha, Denim. Okay. Wow, Floofin. Freaking wow. Yeah, neither could I, Batajiri. It's way too hot and humid in Florida. And as Pat once eloquently stated, the Everglades is basically Blight Town. Devilish, I will tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. The sooner you get your dishes done, the less difficult they will be to clean. Well, I obviously can't afford her services. You don't have enough money. This isn't Tao's charity. Come back when you've got the Gitan. She's a weirdo. Wow! Snap judgments much? Plus, this coming from a talking ferret. So we can enter any of these 3 towers. Probably best if we started with the Tower of the Past. Let's go, Shiren. Oh. Okay, I thought they were just gonna... Alright. No, just the ones I'm using, PS2 girl. I found this particular weapon and shield in a... I think it was a bonus dungeon? Which had a gimmick wherein the only weapons and equipment that you can find in the dungeon are the ones that eat money. But then the main enemy type in the dungeon drops money. So I guess the idea is you have to balance out which enemies you prioritize fighting so that you fight enough of the enemies that drop money, that you never run out of money. And all the while, as you're fighting enemies, your weapon and shield are leveling up, and it seems as though as they level up, the amount of money that they eat increases. Well, Devilish, if I were in your shoes, personally, I would order food and then do the dishes while you're waiting for it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Batajiri. If it makes you feel any better, I've stubbed my toes like 3 times this week. Well, Medic, I guess you just... You prefer certain ups and downs. I prefer colder climates. Which is why at this point I'd be happy to move somewhere a little further north than Germany. I mean, yeah, Floofen, there's part of the U.S. where I would never want to live. The Midwest. Tornadoes. And basically nothing to do anywhere. Denim, I believe that this sword and shield have a combination effect. What's it called? A synergy, I think? Where they increase the drop rate of money and or they cause enemies that don't normally drop money to drop it. But it's not a powerful enough effect to make up for how often you have to attack enemies or get hit. Hello, Cloud Circus. Welcome. Yeah, Devilish. It's better than doing all of the work in one evening. Either you cook or you do the dishes. Hello, Thomas of Troy. Welcome. Well, Medic, and that's the thing, is, yeah, I don't much enjoy shoveling snow either, but I'm the kind of person whom I keep enough food and supplies on hand, and I work from home, that if I were to live someplace where it snows, I could just wait out the snow. You know, the heck with shoveling the driveway. Just let it melt. I don't mind not leaving the house for 2 weeks. I'm totally okay with that. I think so too, ArtCat. I would much rather live somewhere cold than somewhere hot. But I also like being someplace that actually has seasons, and not every part of the world does. I would miss autumn and winter the most if I had to live someplace without seasons. Summer can be nice if it's not too hot. Spring, I don't think anybody likes spring. Spring is just gray and unpleasant, and nothing is out yet, and the weather's not very nice. Well, Magnus, that depends on whether or not you want to spend $1,500 on that gas-powered device. Although I have to admit, Magnus, watching said device hurl the snow over the fence into the neighbor's yard is worth the price. Cloud Circus, I think that depends entirely on what kind of person you are. If you are an introvert or even an ambivert, being at home, no problem. I am very much a being at home kind of person. I am happy not to have to go anywhere. Now, if you're an extrovert, yeah, that's definitely an issue. Ah, Floofen, I'm guessing that was while you were living near Lake Superior. 'Cause, yeah, the climate up there will do that. Butter Judy, I hate to say this, but I have no frame of reference for any of that except Florida. And the only place I've ever been in Florida was Disney World. That's an oddly specific reason to like spring, Katamai, but you got me. I can't argue with you. Yeah, I do too, Sisu. I would never trade it. Not having to commute 45 minutes or an hour, not having to spend that time on public transit, not having to pay for public transit, or, you know, for a vehicle and maintenance on a vehicle. Yes, please. Oh, I bet the heat in Texas is pretty brutal, Medic. Texas is definitely not a state where I would want to live, although the weather there is only one of many reasons for that. Alright, well, what are we gonna do? Frosty! Frosty, now there's a username I haven't seen in ages. How are you doing, my friend? It's so good to see you. Guys, do yourselves a huge favor and go check out my man RB Frosty over at twitch.tv/RB Frosty. I guess that was a bit redundant, but check the man out. He's a great guy. He's really smart. He's very good at video games. And he's just cool and pleasant to hang out with. And also, I haven't seen him in ages. Frosty, what the hell have you been doing? Are you okay? I hope everything is all right. It sounds like everything is complicated. Well, when you have a chance, and no pressure and no hurry, but I would love to catch up, Frosty, if there's anything that you feel like catching up on. Because, yeah, it's been way too long. Thank you so much for stopping in. It's so good to see you. A long, long time, Sisu, yes. Indeed he is, Sugar Crow, for which I am very profoundly glad. Thank you so much for stopping in, Frosty. It's great to see you. For those of you who don't know Frosty, he and I have known each other for quite a while. He is a member of Soulbrand, and that is how I met him. I was introduced to him through a couple of other members of Soulbrand, and actually worked with him on a project or two with Future Press. And met him in person, actually, at E3 in 2015, I think? Yeah, 2015, because that was the unveiling of Dark Souls 3, when we all went out there. And it was just a whole fun time. No, Frosty, the stream has been derailed by absolutely everything that has moved in the shadows since we started. You know how it is around here. Somebody mentions food. A guy drives by on a motorcycle outside. You know the deal. Yeah, the rails have been pulled up, Magnus, and it's just a 5-lane highway now. I don't know why it would be a 5-lane highway. Usually they have an even number of lanes. I guess it's like 2 lanes and then a carpool lane. We'll go with that. Yeah, something like that, Batojiri. You guys can make up the lore at this point. I don't even... Yeah, you know how it is, Frosty. London's Magic Roundabout? I'm not sure what you mean, Floofin. Decide to hire me after all, I'll give you a special guide offer. It'll only... Oh, she raised her price by 500! Boy, this reminds me of when I was in college. All I've got in my pockets are a few pennies, a ball of lint, a pen, and a rubber band. And I mean, you can make a deadly weapon with those materials, but it's the big scary roundabout of roundabouts. Floofin, under other circumstances, I would suspect you of pulling my leg, but since this is London we're talking about, I'm half inclined to believe you. Oh God, Magnus, don't remind me of Snowpiercer, please. Oh, it's in Wiltshire. Okay, Floofin, that explains it. Swindon's iconic magic roundabout. Jesus H. Christ, what is this? What sick bastard designed this? This is worse than the Shibuya crossing in Tokyo. My God. Yeah, iconic is one word, Denim. Alright, well... What are we doing here? Can we go back? No, we can't. I don't know, Devilish. Roundabouts exist in America. It's not like Americans don't know what a roundabout is. I guess we're doing the Tower of the Past. Mel, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping in. Oh yeah, Batojiri, I'm sure nobody has ever crashed their car at that thing. What's that? Is that a gravestone? Jirokichi's... Wait, who is Jirokichi again? What is this? It says to throw a healing item on it. Let me just toss this herb I've been saving and see what happens. What? Jirokichi? I mean, it was Jirokichi's grave. I don't know who else you were expecting to pop out of it. That's a fair point, Nightshade. Oh, it's this kid. I remember him. He's the kid who was in love with that girl who is dying. And he came here to try to save her. Okay, I remember him. Yeah, it'd probably crash the game, Medic. You know, Devilish, I believe that, but at the same time, I feel like those are kind of analogous to Russian dashcam videos, where all you ever see on the internet is the dashcam footage of crazy stuff happening. And so that gives you the impression that it's the rule rather than the exception. But I'd be interested to know what the actual proportion is of people who know how to use a roundabout compared to people who don't. What happened to me? I remember a monster getting to me and I passed out. Yeah, passed out, air quotes. We were literally just looking at a tombstone with your name on it. And then we mashed a healing herb on it, and apparently you were fine, so I don't know. Are you okay, Jirokichi? Aren't you the travelers I saw back at the village? I'm Kopa. This guy here is my partner, the wanderer Shiren. So you managed to get to this fairyland. You're looking for those dice of fate, right? For Oyu, was it? Yeah, Denim, like, who went out of their way to wait till he was dead, then come put incense on his tomb, and then just piss off and not give him a healing herb? Oh, I have to change Oyu's fate, no matter what. I see. Jirokichi, you were collapsed here earlier. This was your grave. Me? A grave? Here? Wow, look at that thoughtful face. Oh, I wonder what that could mean. Oh, hi, Yami. Welcome. Yeah, but Yami, you don't use a roundabout. You live in New York City. You just take public transit or walk. Really? I don't remember what happened after I lost consciousness. It's most likely that the emotions you hold for Oyu caused your soul to refuse to escape the tower. So even if you're defeated by monsters, your soul will cling to this place as firmly as it can. She's fighting her illness even now. I have to do something for Oyu. Wah. Jirokichi, I know we will help you help Oyu. Let's go together. I mean, Kopa, you could just go help him yourself, but let's be honest here. You by yourself are not going to be doing an awful lot, other than providing snarky commentary, which you've certainly proven yourself quite adept at. Ouch, Medic. I do not doubt that. Yeah, Thomas, I guess it doesn't get covered in driver's ed as much as it probably should. Alright, Yami, color me surprised. I would have thought you'd be taking the subway. I'd like to see the top of this Tower of Fortune anyway. Right, Shiren? I will say I appreciate how many different character portraits there are for each character's emotions. I appreciate the attention to detail there. Thank you. With your help, I feel much more confident. Thanks. Oh! There are allies in this game? Okay, I was under the impression it would just be me. That's pretty cool, I guess. Although I'm disappointed that, as yet, we do not seem to be able to raise or train monsters, which is a staple of other games in this genre. Well, Warrior, that's exactly it. I, too, as much as I dislike public transit in general, I still prefer public transit over trying to drive in a place like Manhattan or Berlin. Oh, dear God, Yami, that sounds awful. Now let's go. We have to look for a Die of Fate or something. Tower of the Past. Sure it is, Denim. The Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games are all about it. And it was a thing in As Your Dreams. Or I guess having some kind of ally is a staple. Maybe not monsters, but... Be that as it may, I'm kind of disappointed that so far we haven't encountered such a mechanic. Although, I will happily take NPC allies over no allies at all. I don't know, Denim. I know there are games in this genre that don't have that sort of system, but it seems to me that there are far more that do than there are that don't. PS2 Girl, when you run out of money, your weapons and your weapon and shield basically stop having any effect on your stats. So your attack and defensive power become 0. Depends what part of Massachusetts, Metroid. I've always found the public transit in Boston to be perfectly serviceable, and it's a hell of a lot better than in a lot of other countries that I've been to. Mind you, Metroid, the MBTA has been in the news recently for not the best of reasons, but that aside... Out of the way, monsters. Move aside or be scorched by my burning heart. Oh. Oh, I guess I'm hungry. Yami, I don't know what your idea of fun is. Are we talking watching people crash at a roundabout? It might be the exception, Metroid. I'm embarrassed to admit that I don't have much experience with public transit in Massachusetts outside of Boston. Because why would you go to Massachusetts if not to go to Boston, really? Oh, you lived in Merrimack Valley. Okay, I have no experience with the public transit in that area. Oh, I see, Yami. I gotcha now. Alright, so how does this work? Jirokichi... just does his own thing? Is there a subdivision of the menu that I can access to control him? Or is he entirely autonomous? I wouldn't say that they're called that affectionately, Magnus. They're, if anything, called that derisively. He follows you and does his own thing. Okay, Denim, so there's no customization at all with him? Well, Medic, some of them are proud of it, but it's not exactly a badge of honor. Not that I need to tell you that, it sounds like you already know full well. Really, Batojiri? Since when do the Connecticut police drive Corvettes? I thought it was all SUVs now. Oh, okay, Denim. Well, that figures. Typical. Oh, okay, fair enough, Magnus. Interesting, Batojiri. I wonder how long ago that was. Sorry about that. Every now and then you just have to mute a coughing fit. Well, Yami, driving in a place like New York will make just about anybody bitter and angry. Oh. Right, I meant to eat something, and I forgot to. We'll eat one of these. Okay. Karakuroid? Ha! That name... Either they just didn't bother translating it, or it's supposed to be some kind of pun. The word karakuri in Japanese means a puppet. I guess this enemy's gimmick is that it just places traps? Okay. Power-up grass. That sounds useful. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. Yeah, we need all the levels we can get, since my equipment is not doing anything for me at this point. You know... 6 defensive power? 5 defensive power. So this one's better. Yeah, we might as well at least use something that actually gives us attack power, or defensive power. Oh, interesting, Batojiri. I didn't know they had such a division. Ha! Why am I not surprised to hear that, Magnus? Not the least. Alright. Let's put some stuff in this pot. Because supposedly... Oh, okay. Well... I guess the only way to get the stuff out of it is to break it. Also, how am I supposed to know how much health Jirokichi has if I can't even view his status in the menu? Oh god, these guys? Okay, well, I remember these guys because they were the main enemy in that money dungeon. And if you get close enough to them, they'll steal your money. So I'm gonna... There we go. And just like that, we're back in business. Very good. Oh, we got a katana. The thing is, I don't want to equip it unless I absolutely have to, in case it's cursed. Oh, select? Oh, okay, thank you, Denim. I see, so it displays it... What a weird place for it, on the map? Okay, sure. Alright, I remember food is supposed to go inside preservation pots so that it doesn't rot. Also, why am I carrying around all this warp grass? Oh, PS2 girl, it's because it turns out, apparently one of the enemy types on this floor is the enemy type that drops money. Which, no, not this thing. It's something that looked quite a bit like that thing, though. But yeah, the money-dropping enemy from the dungeon where I got the sword and shield that eat money apparently spawns on this floor. Yami, but isn't that the AI that's the maniac? The AI controlling those cars? Oh, okay, Denim, I see. Wait a minute, did that... Did that enemy just place... Yes, he did. He placed a point switch, which is a beneficial trap. Alright, I guess I have no choice but to put on this katana. Oh! Okay, not only was it not cursed, but apparently it has synergy with this shield. Yeah, easy come, easy go, PS2 girl. I've gotta just switch these weapons. Alright, you know... What if... It does work! Okay. So what I'm hoping he'll do... Oh, he just showed back up. I was gonna say, what I'm hoping he'll do is fight a bunch of enemies. Oh god, Well, I'm sure as hell not buying anything. Oh, does it cost extra, Batojiri? Okay, yeah, fair enough then. Oh, he will, Denim, okay. Because, yeah, that was a tactic you could use in As Your Dreams, Denim, is if you had a monster with you, you could set their AI to just go nuts and attack everything. And then you could teleport them away from you, or you could just kind of send them off in a hallway and let them wander on their own. And they would just wander around the floor killing everything until they ran back into you. Oh, I know you can, Denim, but I don't have anything that I think is going to be worth a significant amount of money. And I don't even have an awful lot that I think I should part with in the first place. Because most of it is healing items. Or projectiles, or stuff I'm probably going to use. Yami, you're probably just used to living in a city where there are constant car accidents. Alright, well, some of these pots, I don't think you can take items out of an ordinary pot. I found that out the hard way in the... Oh, God. Really? Now I'm being manhandled by a gigantic buff bear? Ugh, the disrespect. Telling you. Ah. Echo Drop, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. No, you're not dreaming. I did manage to find a little bit of time to fit in a stream. Alright, okay, I mean, it's not great, but it's not nothing. Oh, keep the staff, Denim? Eh. I'm not too impressed by the effect of that staff, to be honest. Ah, these guys. So, PS2 girl, it's this enemy. This is the enemy that was the gimmick enemy in the dungeon where I got the equipment that eats money. You can see that these guys kind of look like some kind of freak cross between a frog and a purse. Ah. And you can also see that they're guaranteed to drop money. And that's what I want, because I need money. Oh, God. Oh, he even throws other enemies at you? Jesus, what is this guy? Tiger Tosser? Okay, well, that's original. Yeah, I remember those Denim from that dungeon. What was it called? Froggo's Rage or something like that. Oh, another Presto pot. Those are fun. Ah, right. Hirokichi, come on, man. Oh, he doesn't change his position to stay behind you the way they do in As Your Dreams. I was expecting slightly different behavior. Oh, okay. My Iron Targe became a good Iron Targe. Alright. It looks like there could be... Okay, then! Oh, and there's Jirokichi. I was about to say, it looks like there could be one more room. And in fact, it seems there is, yes. But there's nothing in it. Great. Fantastic. Oh, Jirokichi's leveling up. That's good. What the... Hey, Shiren, what's that over there? That looks like a fox. Coup. What's a fox doing here? Did you get caught in a trap? Whatever. Hey, Shiren, let's just get this trap off and... Hey, wait a second. Are you really just a fox? You're not going to turn into a monster and ambush us the moment we release you, are you? What should we do? I mean, if it does turn into a monster, Jirokichi can tank. And I guess I've got some money now. I could switch to my powerful equipment that eats money. Alright, let's hope for the best. It's off. Come on, you'll be okay now. Oh, for God's sake, Echo Drop, why are you like this? What are you doing, man? Thank you for the gift sub, but also, fuck off. Be more careful, don't get yourself stuck in traps again. Let's get going, Shiren. Well, Echo Drop, I've been up for the past 22 hours, so I'll trade you. Floofin, I've said it many a time, and I'll say it once more, and probably many a time more. Mayonnaise was made for the devil to eat in hell. And anyone who wants to fight me on that can get in line. Because I need to finish my tea. Dylan Holder, that is an entirely fair question, and the answer is I don't eat tuna sandwiches. I'm a grilled cheese kind of guy. And I mean, I like cold sandwiches as well. You know, turkey or roast beef or pastrami. It was a good question, Dylan, but I don't know what kind of answer you were expecting. But clearly I subverted whatever your expectation was, so either I'm sorry or you're welcome, or both. 3 blocks from my house, Randolph. Thank you, McBayer. At least somebody understands. Nah, Metroid, I never was a fan of tuna sandwiches with or without mayonnaise. But let's be fair to Dylan. Supposing in a hypothetical situation I were to get out of bed one morning and decide, you know what I feel like right now? A tuna sandwich. If I were going to make a tuna sandwich, I would make a tuna sandwich without mayonnaise. And I would just use finely minced tuna and spices. Some black pepper, maybe a pinch of salt, a little bit of dill, maybe? What else would I put on a tuna sandwich? Oh, probably some onions. Some sauteed onions, I would think, because, raw onion would be pretty unpleasant on tuna, I think. What else would I eat? Yeah, I think probably just the dill, pepper, maybe a pinch of salt, depending on whether or not the tuna were packed in salt water, because sometimes it is. Yeah, I could see some lemon tuo as a matter of preference. I probably wouldn't use it. Or at least I wouldn't use much of it, but... Oh, yikes, Echo Drop! What? I don't eat coleslaw either, Floofin. Hang on, I feel like I missed something. Echo Drop, you... You're on a liquid diet because... You were in the hospital for a week? Well, I'd ask if you're okay. And I mean, I hope you are by now. But genuinely, Echo Drop, I'm sorry to hear that, and I wish you a speedy recovery, mayonnaise notwithstanding. You know, Dylan, I wouldn't have thought of wasabi. But wasabi isn't a bad idea for a tuna sandwich. Yeah, see, Randolph, now you're speaking my language. Randolph the Grey has the right of it. Alright, Dylan, sorry. I mean, you did ask, but I guess you got more than you bargained for. Yeah, no, let it be clear, Dylan, I will go to any lengths to avoid eating mayonnaise. Floofin, one of the things that irritates me probably more than anything else food-related, and it's not only in the United States anymore, it's been on the rise in Europe as well, is you can barely get a loaf of bread anymore that doesn't have a ton of sugar added to it. And other stuff that has no business having sugar in it, you know? Spice mixes. It's just, like, freaking stop. Yami, in my personal opinion, the tuna out of that cheap Walmart can is the kind that most needs the help of some spices and seasonings. Yeah, Echo Drop, but I'm talking about, like, I was browsing an online retailer for some curry spice mix a couple of days ago. Thai style curry powder, like a dry powder. And of the probably 15 brands that I looked at, 10 of them had added sugar. So I'm not talking about barbecue spice, and even with barbecue spices, Echo Drop, I prefer not to get sugar in dry rubs that I use. Because if I'm gonna add sugar, I'd like to be able to add just a tiny amount instead of having tons of it put in by somebody else. But generally, I won't bother adding it because I just don't prefer it. Yeah, you can get powdered spice mixes for like red curry and yellow curry and green curry. I use it as a supplement to curry paste. Well, Floofin, but that's exactly why companies that mass-produce food put sugar in it in the first place. Because with the sugar in it, it sells better. Like, there's a significant amount of market data out there that shows pretty clearly, Floofin, that the same product will sell better if it has sugar in it than if it does not. Hey, Wasser, good to see you. How you doing? Yeah, Echo Drop, I don't know if you have access to the same brands I do, so I'm not sure it would help for me to give you a recommendation. But just search for Thai red curry powder, or yellow or green curry powder, at whatever retailer you plan to peruse, and I'm sure you'll find some. Of course, in addition to sugar, another thing you have to be careful of is salt. And that's maybe even more infuriating to me, is I'll find a good quality spice mixture that has good ingredients and no preservatives and that isn't full of silicates, and it'll be full of salt instead. So I won't be able to use as much of it as I need in a dish, because in order to use that amount, I end up over-salting it because it has freaking tons of salt added to it. Well, Devilish, I mean, up to a point, all sugar is unhealthy, but the processed kinds are the least healthy. Stuff that's been processed in a centrifuge, and then really just the more processed it is in general, the less healthy. In moderation, Yami. In moderation. Yeah, salt, or rather sodium, is a neurotransmitter, and the body does need a certain amount of it. But without adding any salt to our diets, we already get, with a reasonably balanced diet, without any extra salt, we already inherently get the amount of sodium that our body needs to provide for the necessary neurotransmitters of that type, the sodium neurotransmitters. We get that already without having any additional salt in our diet. What were you expecting, Shahrazad? Oh, Floofin, if you're implying what I think you're implying... Yeah, it saves lives for people who are hyponatremic, Yami. Yes. I knew it was only a matter of time, Sisu, before somebody went there. Oh, you're talking about the source of the sugar rather than the processing, Devilish. I see. To my knowledge, Devilish, there's no appreciable difference between how healthy sugar is, whether it comes from beets or cane or palm, whatever. As far as I know, it's still fructose, basically, or sucrose. I can't remember which. This goes back to 10th grade biology lessons that I only half recall. So somebody who's more up-to-date on their science than I am is welcome to weigh in on this. Sugar Crow, you're still here, right? This is your field. I think. Sucrose. Okay, Mel, thanks. Mel, I presume you know what you're talking about. Ironically, Floofin, that's not actually the reason that I had in mind for appealing to Sugar Crow. It's actually because she's been studying biology for the past at least 2 years, I think. And so I figured she would probably have that stuff fresh in her mind. Yeah, she would say that, Devilish. What was, Mel? I've lost track. No, I know, Floofin. I know all about the low-hanging fruit, believe me. Oh, okay, gotcha, Sugar Crow. For some reason, I thought that you were still focusing to some degree on chemistry. Oh, trusting you. Gotcha, Mel. Right, let me actually finish my tea, because as yet I've just been talking with chat about sodium and sugar. Well, it's cold now, but what can you do? Well, that's still useful, Sugar. Oh, God. What? Well, that wasn't helpful. Freaking rust traps every single time. Oh, okay, well, at least I was equipped for that one. Phew, well, I'm glad I can still one-shot them. Oh! Okay, well... Ah, come on. Oh, and then I immediately step on another rust trap, but fortunately that one didn't trigger. Okay. Echo Drop, what was I expecting? Putting you up to something like that. Yet another mistake to add to my list. I don't know, Sisu. I mean, there are different schools of thought about placebo effects. A placebo effect may not result from a real cause, but the effect can still be real to the person experiencing it. So, if a placebo effect ends up being a net positive for you, even if it is the result of a placebo, then the school of thought is stick with it. Continue lying to yourself if it's good for you. Yeah, Yami, I feel like Lipton drinkers don't have any regard for society. Red! Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Hey, Zyric. Well, now I'm up to my armpits in swords. Now I need a replacement for this shield. And Pink Drink, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Oh yeah, you probably burn tons of calories during your workouts, Mortiferu. Although, it's odd to imagine that sugar is the solution to that. Sisu, I kind of hate to say this, but I feel like that may be not the best example. I think there's a subtle difference between a beneficial placebo effect and faking it till you make it while being completely miserable. Because let's be real, I think we've all experienced at least one of those things, and probably both. Yeah, you know what? These can go in. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, well, I don't know what I was supposed to do. You know what? We're gonna eat an onigiri. Oh, okay, Mortiferu, that's entirely logical. Zyric, it can be a useful skill to have once you learn how to use it. But, depending on how you use it, it can either be constructive or very, very destructive. Oh, because of the caffeine, Yami? You're talking, like, actual tea? So you get her herbal stuff? Yeah, Zyric, you're a math person, so you'll appreciate this. I've always considered self-conditioning to be sort of analogous to, I don't know, like messing with the registry on your PC without knowing what you're doing. Or opening up system files and trying to rewrite lines of code. You can do damage that in some cases might end up being irreparable. Alright, what are we doing? Okay, well, at least we're one-shotting these guys now. I feel like maybe there should be something in the center of this zone, but there are no paths leading in. What do we have here? Oh, right, the stairs are over there. Mistook that blue icon from the stupid oil scroll for the stairs. Yeah, something exactly like that, McBayer. Guess we can eat this. Yeah, perfect. I hope it goes well, Metroid. Genuinely, my heart goes out to you, and for whatever it's worth, I hope you're able to make the progress that you're hoping to make. That wasn't an improvement. Helpful if we had more pots, but... What do we have here? 15 damage. I feel like maybe we just go with the shield for now. Yeah, switching to that shield probably just saved my hide. Okay, actually, I have an idea. Aha! It does work. So what we could theoretically do is we could... Yes! It appears as though we're going to get away with this. Well, Sugar Crow, it's more that I don't remember exactly what you learned when. My memory has never been very good, and... I mean, especially during a stream, when I have more trouble dividing my attention even than I normally do, which is already a lot. Oh, we got an escape scroll. Actually, I was really worried that we might not find one of those. Because, I have a feeling that I might end up needing it fairly soon. Yes, there's that too, Yami. That has not helped matters. But I'm going to chalk that up to working on the guide. Oh, hi, Breakfast. You have another long shift today? I'm sorry to hear that. What happened? Are you covering for somebody? Did they just ask you to stay late? Hey, Quaya. It's making progress. But it is still very much keeping me tied down. Hang on, is that a blank scroll? 5,000? Dear God. I don't know if I want to give up these scrolls, though. You know what? Okay, no. That... Greatly heal HP. Oh, that's helpful. I should probably hang on to that. But what we really need there is the escape scroll, so okay, we'll... Oh! Okay, thanks, Jirokichi. I didn't see whoever that was. Georgia! Hey! It's my friend Georgia. How are you doing, Georgia? It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. I'm so glad you could make it. Guys, let me introduce you all to somebody you absolutely have to go check out, please. If you do yourselves no other favors this week, or even this month, do yourself this favor and head on over and check out Georgia. Koya, thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. Very much appreciate that. Go check out my friend Georgia. She is unbelievably sweet and kind. She has an incredible community and is just one of the most welcoming and friendly and accepting people I've ever had the privilege of meeting and getting to know and becoming friends with on Twitch. She's just an angel. You have to go check her out. She must be seen to be believed. I am exhausted, Georgia, but other than that, I don't have much latitude to complain. I was finally able to find a little bit of time to stream today, and so I wanted to put in an appearance and be here for my community. You should, Zarataro. I do not hand out praise that I don't genuinely mean, Georgia, so you've earned it. Thank you for stopping in, Georgia. You must have just finished your stream not long ago. Yeah, guys, Georgia is a variety streamer. She streams all sorts of different games, but currently, if memory serves, she is working her way through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I believe she's on the DLC now. She was streaming Detroit Become Human earlier, and she is finishing up Elden Ring. Oh, thanks, Sarataro, jeez. Sugarcur, I don't go out of my way to be charming. And I'm not aware that I am. I mean, if you say so. Thank you, I appreciate it. Well, Devilish, I'll say it again. I only say those things when I mean them. Hey, and there's Sam! Hello, Sam. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I'm glad you were able to make it. Well, no, Yami, because even I have my limits. I will sleep eventually. But right now, I'm in that really annoying state where I'm too tired to do anything productive, but I'm not tired enough to sleep. And I thought, well, I'm going to be useless to get any more work done on the guide in this state. But I think I could maybe manage a stream, and it'd be nice to see my community again after all this time I've been putting in on the guide. So here I am. And so many of you showed up, and I really appreciate that. Because it's great to see everyone. Well, Georgia, I'm glad the stream went well. And I really appreciate you stopping in. It's so good to see you. So, this game, for anyone just rolling in, for, I guess for Georgia and anyone else who's just gotten here, or who's gotten here recently, this game is called Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate, which is a mouthful. But basically, it's a mystery dungeon type game. And as I understand it, this particular version is a remake of a port of another port, or something along those lines. And this is my first, well, it's my second stream of it, but it's my first time playing this particular game. However, I've played one or two other games like it, mainly Azure Dreams, way, way back in the day. Although, this series, this is, I think, the 5th entry in the Shiren the Wanderer series. The first game in this series came out long before Azure Dreams. So, there's a whole timeline, but I'd wanted to check this out for quite a while, and finally got around to it now that I have a PC. I have a PC that is just super beefy for really high-end gaming, and here I am using it for, like, DS games from 1995. Story of my life. Yeah, they really love long, complicated names over there, Sisu. Oh, well, Georgia, I love having you stop in when you can. It's always a pleasure, and it always makes my day. Yeah, Super Famicom, that sounds right, Erevan. I remember it being a long time ago, at any rate. Breakfast, thank you so much for the resub. I really appreciate that. Right, this I think we can sell. It doesn't look like we have anything else that I can sell, though. Nothing I'm willing to part with, anyway. Oh, you did, Quaya! Congratulations! Okay, yeah, that's a decent amount of money. Game Center CX, Erevan? I'm not familiar. Is that a TV show? Oh, for goodness sake, every blasted time. With those rust traps. I can't have nice things around here. Alright, we've made the full loop. Oh! Nice. On Fuji TV since 2003. I've never even heard of that channel, Erevan. It must be one that I don't get. Alright, I'm satisfied that we've seen everything on this floor. Well, there could be another room in this lower right. Breakfast, thank you very much for the resub, in case I somehow missed it before. There was not, in fact, another room. Oh, he was carrying an ordinary pot. Oh, and then the bastard throws me onto the rust trap. Okay, I see how these guys work. I understand. That I don't know, Ereva. Wait, what? Why is there an NPC here? I'm the phantom thief that scours the world looking for treasure. The name's Chiroro. Hey there, fellow, we meet again. How are things going for you? If you pay me a fee, I'll go find something good for you. How about I charge you to... How about no? How about I need that money to power my sword? Wait. You talked to me just now, didn't you? I'm the wandering fortune teller, Madame Ateska. This is just a disguise, so don't mind it. It must be fate that we met here. Let me tell you your fortune right now. Oh, okay. Hey, Lumino, welcome. Good to see you. Eravon, I guess I must have lived under a rock in terms of TV, because I've never even heard of that channel. Don't be bashful. We're friends now, are we not? I mean, I've talked to you like once, but sure. Now then, your luck today is... Oh god, my eyes. Whoa, this is ultimate bad luck. It's bad luck beyond all other bad luck. Freaking great. Thanks. This is scary. Your items will all be turned into weeds? You're kidding. It's like all your bad thoughts settle down and raise the family and they're multiplying. Oh, phew. Okay, dear God. Scared me for a minute. Unless the effect of that fortune was not to immediately turn everything into weeds, but to create some delayed effect? Which new Valkyrie game, Quaya? Oh, it's a Japanese show, Eravon. No wonder I've never heard of it. Confusion talismans. And a presto pot. Yeah, I still don't know what you're referring to, Quaya. I'm not aware that they've released another Valkyrie profile game. Valkyrie Elysium? Well, that name does strike a bell, Sam. I might have heard of it, but... Oh, wait a minute! Is that the one that they announced, like, 2 years ago? The one that looks like a really bland, uninspired, low-budget, low-effort sequel to Silmeria? Is it that one? I don't know, it feels like 2 years ago, Echo Drop. I could have sworn I remembered hearing about it much further back than 6 months. Early this year, huh? Maybe I heard about it from a contact or through the proverbial grapevine at some point before that then. I don't even remember who's told me what when. Don't get old, kids. It sucks. Coming out in the fall. Yeah, actually, now that I hear the name, Sam, I do believe I've heard of this game. If it's the same one I'm thinking of. I believe I remember seeing a trailer for it. No problem, Georgia. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much for stopping in to say hi. It was so good to see you. Go have a good night, Georgia. Relax, rest up, stay nice and cool, and enjoy your dinner. Give those cats a pat for me if they'll stay in one place long enough. You know what I think it was, Denim? I think it was at one of Jeff Keighley's shows. It was like at the Game Awards or something. I think I remember seeing a trailer at the Game Awards. Very good, Georgia. Take care of yourself. I'm sure our paths will cross again soon. I hope they do, anyway. Well, Sugar Crow, that can be a nice thing. Maybe earn you a little bit of respect. Yes, Lumino, that I have been keeping track of. And I'm planning on checking it out on stream eventually. But it's not going to be until at least my current round of revisions are done on the guide. Because I still have... God, I still have probably at least half of the NPC chapter. And... I mean, the lore section, or I should just be calling it the world history section at this point, because it's not a comprehensive overview of the lore. But that I'm pretty much done with. Oh, it was a State of Play. Thank you, Sam. I knew it was one of those ones hosted by Jeff Keighley. But yes, Lumino, I am familiar. I haven't had a chance to read the update notes for it yet, but I saw that I think it went live today or yesterday. And if I remember correctly, Lumino, they're, I think, adding a new school of magic and a bunch of new quests and stuff. As well as, for better or worse, more debuff meters for you to have to keep track of, which personally doesn't excite me, but... I don't know, maybe by the time the whole thing comes together, some of those systems will fit a bit better than they do in the game's current incomplete state, Lumino. Sugar Crow, I'm really glad that new job is working out. I'm so happy you were able to find a place where people are kind and you're in good company. Yeah, that could be, McBayer. I can't even begin to wrap my head around what their reasoning could be for releasing a game that seems as unpolished as Valkyrie Elysium does. Other than the usual reasons why a game developer does that. Oh, okay, well that's encouraging to hear, at least, Lumino. Yeah, McBayer, or maybe more cynically you could say greed. Well, Sugar Crow, you suffered long enough. You deserve the light at the end of the tunnel at this point. Yeah, Lumino, that change was long overdue. Fair point, Zarotaro. That's quite possible. Yeah, that's a lesson they never seem to learn over at Square, Echo Drop, is, oh, we put out this half-assed port that doesn't run properly and that crashes constantly and is of inferior quality to the original. Why is nobody buying it? Oh well, guess we just won't try. Yeah, who would have guessed, Red Rock? Alright, you know what? We can ditch this. Ah. And I guess we can put that in. Oh, and we've got one wood arrow. We can put that in too. That's perfect. 8 rocks and another escape scroll. The escape scroll I will happily take. Oh, whoops. Sorry, Jitokichi. Why were you standing in my way? Do not flatter, do not flaunt, do not flinch. That's my motto. I'll have nothing to fear. Well... I don't know if they're quite that bad, McBayer, but they're on their way. Alright, let's see. I keep expecting these paths to lead somewhere, but I can't even walk on them anyway. I think they're supposed to be water. Alright, let me just read this and select an item. Okay, it just instantly sells something. I think talismans are usually worth a decent amount of money. Ah, some. Oh, no room down there. Wait, what? Who? Oh, that's this guy again. Ha! Interesting observation, Red Rock. I suppose they do. No items. Well, that whole trip was a waste. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I think I remember those enemies. I think I ran into one or two of them last time. The ones that transform into items. Fingers crossed, Red Rock, but Square Enix has such a bad track record for ports that I'm not sure I dare get my hopes up. Oh, God. I remember these guys, so now I know what was meant. By having all your items turned into weeds. Because that enemy... Alright. That enemy, I ran into him at some point, somewhere, and... Oh God, it's just all him? All field knaves. Well, there's no point hanging around here, then. Oh, God. Jitokichi! Thanks for just standing there, dude. Ooh, that I need. Because we can put stuff in there. Oh, really? Alright, I might have an antidote herb for you. Oh, come on! I can't give him... Wait a minute. I didn't bring that heel grass with me, did I? Blast it! Oh, equipping a bracelet doesn't identify it. What the? Welcome, I'm a humble traveling peddler. I hope you'll frequent my little store. Oh, okay. He's a shop. Dear God. I don't think I can afford anything. Although it is helpful to be able to see what the prices are of these things. Very expensive, Sisu, and you'd think that buying stuff from a shop, it would be identified already. Red Rock, it is a mystery dungeon style game. I believe Mystery Dungeon now counts as its own genre. So it's basically a dungeon crawler with procedural generation of levels. And each particular dungeon tends to have some gimmick or another. So it has rogue elements, but it's not really a roguelike. Because it also has elements of permanent progression, or of semi-permanent progression, anyway. Lumino, I think that their refusal to identify their wares is an excuse to mark up the prices. But I don't have anything else. I mean, I guess I could sell this. I suppose I might as well. And then we can put that back on for the moment. Oh! Okay, that was weird. Fortunately, I have an anti-sleep bracelet. And both of the weapons I'm currently equipped with are plated, so they can't rust. Of course, that can still happen. Well, McBayer, having a large backlog can be either a positive or a negative, depending on your point of view. Personally, I like having a backlog because it means that I don't have to sit there scratching my head over what to stream. Stuff is all way too expensive. Oh, I guess I'm hungry. Seems not, Lumino. What the? Oh. Well, I mean, I tried, but it seems like I can't give Jidokichi antidote herbs. Well, Devilish, I understand both situations, but personally, I never get stressed out about thinking I have to finish something. I mean, unless it's something I've already started, and I find myself in a situation where I don't feel like finishing it. But I've learned to be very careful not to put myself in that situation in the first place. For goodness sake. Oh, we're already at the top of this tower. Okay. Wait, what? Welcome, this is the final room of the Tower of the Past. That's just young Shiren, isn't it? You're the younger form of... This is just a temporary form. How you perceive me depends on the person at the time. So who needs the die? What do you see, and what do you dream of? How is your old fate turned? Take this. This is the die of the past. If you want to change your fate, you'll need this. Good luck. Okay, we got the die of the past. Let's go, Jidokichi. I love how nobody questions who that kid was. I guess everybody must have just figured, oh yeah, that's probably just Riva. Well, Red Rock, I mean, never is all relative, isn't it? I suppose it depends on how much free time you have, but also on how long you put stuff off. But yeah, either way, I certainly understand, Devilish, the time constraints. And Sisu, I mean, you know how long it took me to finish Persona 4 and Persona 5. I think Persona 4 went the better part of a year. Mind you, that's at my streaming pace, but still. Where's Jidokichi? Did he already head to the tower? We should get ready and return there, Shiren. We still have to gather 2 more dice. Yeah, well, we also have to gather some more money. And I need to figure out what to get rid of. I have to say, I'm incredibly surprised that that first tower was so short. Was it 10 floors? The dungeon that I got killed in at the end of the previous stream was 30. Which one, McBayer? The Gitan Swallower? Well, Devilish, look on the bright side. At least you get lots of mileage out of your games that way. I mean, I guess on the downside, you never get to finish them. But it's something. Oh, the dungeons in this game scale when you complete them, Lumino? Okay, because, I mean, there was already a list of like 20 or 25 optional dungeons at the Dungeon Center. And I tried a few of them during the previous stream, and I got slaughtered in pretty much every single one. Okay, so this was a staunch bracelet. Now it's identified, now that we're back in town. Wearing this prevents stats such as max HP, max strength, and level from being decreased. Oh, okay. I don't know how common it is to run into enemies that can do this. Well, Devilish, every now and then I guess you just have to take a couple of days off and just pick a game and binge it till you finish it. Okay, Luminos, so it sounds like a fair expectation that that might be the case here as well, then. Ditch this stuff, I guess. The perception grass I'll keep because that is helpful. That, I believe, reveals the locations of every trap on the floor. That can go. Because I think in order to take stuff out of the ordinary pot, you have to smash it. I don't think you can actually just remove stuff from it manually, like you can from the preservation pot. Ah, well, Devilish, I'm glad you're spending some time with Kegarin. I appreciate you doing that. And, I mean, I'm sure he appreciates it, too. He's always grateful for the company. And I'm glad you're supporting him. He deserves it. He's a good dude. He works very hard. Yeah, funny you say that, Lumino. I think monster houses are a universal mechanic in these kinds of games. Because they existed in As Your Dreams as well, which was my first introduction to them. But yeah, they're definitely a thing in this game. I ran into one in the dungeon that I got killed in during the previous stream. Oh, that's fantastic, Devilish. I'm so glad to hear that. That's one of the things I've always appreciated about being a content creator is I'm no hero. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably not doing the amount of good that a doctor or, I don't know, a surgeon would do. Someone like that. But one little bit of good that I can do as a content creator is introduce good people to each other. and help good people make new friends. So I'm always happy to be able to do that. And I always appreciate hearing people's stories about when it happens. Oh, did they, Sugar Crow? They got you involved in it too? That's fantastic. And Sugar Crow Kegerin, I'm sure, appreciates having a fellow German involved in that. Because he doesn't know too many German content creators. And he's in need of good role models. Not that he has a ton of bad ones, but, you know, more good ones are always helpful, especially in his position. That's all it took, huh, Devilish? Well, thank you, Miscreant. I'm glad you think so. I don't claim to try to work miracles or be a hero or anything, but I do at the very least try to maintain some semblance of integrity and to act in a way that is, I don't know, just that shows basic respect to others. Well, Sugar Crow, take it when you can get it. If you're hanging out with people who think you are cool and nice, that's probably a sign that you're hanging out with the right people. Yeah, Kegerin's a good kid, Sugar Crow. I mean, I say kid. He's probably not young enough to be called a kid anymore. I met him when he was young enough to be called a kid. So that's how I tend to think of him. I probably really need to get out of that habit, though. I've been doing this for so long that a lot of the people in my community whom I met when they were kids are now grown up and in some cases even have kids of their own. So I can't just go around calling everyone kid. Well, I do my very best to foster that as well, Sisu. I certainly don't like creating unnecessary stress for my viewers. Which is why I haven't played Dark Souls 2 again. Mind you, I also don't like creating unnecessary stress for myself, which is another reason I haven't played Dark Souls 2 again. Well, Aki, with a couple of certain people in my community, I do kind of have a running gag going on. Like with Denim. He calls me Gramps. I call him Whippersnapper. But that's a specific thing, right? That's on an individual basis. Because I feel old, Echo Drop. And relatively speaking, compared to some of the younger members of my community, I am. Well, Miscreant, when I'm done with the Elden Ring guide, I will eventually stream that game. I'm just gonna need some time before I will be not burnt out on it sufficiently to have the energy to stream it. Oh, hey! Look who it is! It's my friend Kira! How are you doing, Kira? It's so good to see you! Kira, it's funny you chose to stop in now, because Georgia was just here. She just went off to have dinner. Thank you so much for dropping by. Guys, here is another friend of mine whom I very, very strongly suggest you go check out. My friend Kira, also known as Spilt Tea. She is, in fact, a very good friend of Georgia's as well, and part of that same circle of friends, which is more or less how she and I met. And she is another one who, very much like Georgia, is just an unbelievably, unequivocally sweet and kind and welcoming individual with an awesome community, a great sense of humor, and is... Oh, Lumino, and thank you so much for the gift sub to Kira. That was incredibly kind of you. But I cannot say enough good things about her. Please, again, do yourselves a favor. Head on over, give her a follow, and drop by her next stream. She has to be seen to be believed. I'm glad you're well, Kira. Yeah, I guess it is getting toward dinner time in this part of the world, isn't it? I've got to... Well, I was about to say I've got to get myself back on a normal sleep schedule, but there's no point. I'll just fall off it again in a week anyway. Oh, no problem, Sugar Crow. Go pat some schnoofy dogs. I mean, I know you're more of a cat person, Sugar Crow, but you take the opportunity to pet dogs when you can. Got a lot of cat people here, actually. In fact, quite a few cat moms. Kira, Georgia, and Sugar Crow, too. And a fair few cat dads as well, now that I think of it. Oh, Miscreant, thank you. I'm glad anybody enjoyed that. For all the complaints I got about it, you could have fooled me into thinking nobody liked it. Yeah, what is a sleep schedule, McBayer? What even is that? I mean, I don't think I even had a proper sleep schedule in recent memory, not since high school, and even then I struggled. Oh, are you, Eravon? I learned something new about you today. Yeah, Miscreant, I'm not too picky, generally. Unless it's the kind of animal that wants to eat your face. I mean, depending on what animal it is, maybe even if it is that kind of animal. Yeah, Devilish, you, Mortiferu. A whole bunch of people I can think of whom I don't think are here right now. Oh, Jordan's not home tonight, Kira? Okay. Yeah, then it's a great night for takeout. You know, Kira, I wish I lived closer to you so that I could drop by every now and then and teach you to cook. Because, I mean, I know not everybody enjoys cooking, but it's the sort of thing that I love enough to be interested in teaching it to other people, and you seem to be... Oh, I think I might have misread that. Cooking for one is the art you're trying to master. Okay, I see. Oh, the portions. Okay. Yeah, that's a difficult thing. Except that... Do you mean the portions or the ratios? Because portions, I mean, if you're talking about you make too much food and it goes to waste, yeah, that is a difficult problem to solve. And you really kind of have to calculate how much you eat per meal per day, and then weigh that against how long the particular dish you're making is likely to last. And that can be tricky, you know, that's a complicated thing to figure out. But if you mean the ratios of ingredients, then that's a kind of a different matter, but it's one that at the very least you can either learn and just commit to rote memory, or eventually with enough experience you can get the feel for it. At least with certain types of dishes and certain ingredients, and you can eyeball it. Like, when you've made scrambled eggs 20 or 30 times, you know that for 3 eggs, you can get away with a slightly varying amount of butter or, you know, onions or peppers or mushrooms or whatever you like to add to your scrambled eggs if you like to add stuff. And you don't necessarily need exact amounts for stuff like that, because you can just say, okay, yeah, half a red bell pepper and maybe a quarter of an onion will be enough for 3 scrambled eggs, right? Like, you can just kind of wing it or eyeball it. Well, Miscreant, I think what it was that people were angry that we didn't just unequivocally love the games and shower them with nothing but praise. But you kind of can't win that way, because if you do that, then you get called out for being disingenuous. And if you share your actual opinion, if your opinion is anything but unequivocal hype to begin with, then people get mad at you for being a downer. So you can't make everyone happy. Someone is always going to be mad. Oh, okay, Kira, I see. Yeah, if you're working from a recipe that you learned originally as a recipe for like 4 people, yeah, paring that down to a recipe for 1 definitely can be tricky. My recommendation, though, in that situation would be just don't pare it down. Make the original amount, but then store the rest. Put it in the refrigerator, package it up in plastic wrap or Tupperware or, you know, sealed airtight containers. Or if it comes to it, if you don't think you're going to be able to use it for a while, freeze it. I mean, depending on what it is, some dishes, some foods take better to freezing than others. But yeah. Yeah, the size of your refrigerator definitely makes a whole lot of difference in how much food you're able to prepare at a time. And really how much you can store. And I will tell you for one thing, Kira, one of the best investments I ever made was a full-size refrigerator. Like, if you live in a tiny apartment and you don't have room for it, and a lot of the apartments here in Germany are that way, so I can definitely understand that dilemma, then yeah, sometimes you just get stuck. But if you can find anywhere the room for a full-size refrigerator, I will tell you from personal experience, that will go a long way toward enabling you to not have to scale down your recipes, and just enabling you to make the full amount, put it in the fridge, store it for later, and, you know, just eat it for the next couple of days. That's what I do. I mean, ever since I got that full-size fridge, I became able to make a week's worth of food and to store it, and I've never been happier in terms of my meal planning, because it's just so much more convenient. And then I don't have to cook for a week or longer. Ari, hey, how are you doing? It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for stopping in. Are you well, Ari? And is Nick well? I hope he's doing okay, too. Well, Metroid, this was a point that Marcus originally made, so I'm really just quoting him here, but the things we love the most tend to be the things we look at with the most critical eye. Because when you love something that much, you become so intimately familiar with it that you see its flaws practically under a microscope. Oh, gotcha, Kira. Okay. Yeah, it's really tough when you're renting. It's really, really tough. I mean, I suppose, Kira, what you could do is buy your own full-size fridge, and if you can, find a place for it among all the stuff that's already in the apartment from your landlord. But I know that not all landlords are okay with that, and I know that in a tiny apartment it can cause problems with space. So I realize it's not always practical. But here's hoping that you're able to have your own kitchen sooner rather than later, Kira. Because, yeah, it's such a nice thing to be able to have a full-sized fridge. Yeah, and room for appliances in general, right? You know, a nice countertop to put that blender or that rice cooker. No, they don't, Miscreant. You generally have to have someone help you move it or hire a moving company. I know, Metroid, right? They can be, Warrior, but the problem... Hey, Salt, welcome! Thank you so much for the resub. Great to see you again. Ah, gotcha, Kira. Okay. Yeah, houses in the UK seem to be really tiny. I mean, that's kind of par for the course throughout Europe. Houses in Germany are really tiny, too, especially the older ones. But yeah, if I'm ever able to get a place of my own, I'm right there with you, Kira, in that it's going to have a good kitchen. And for my purposes, it's going to have to be someplace where there's gigabit internet, because... Systemi, hello! Welcome, good to see you. How are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping in, Systemi. Ah, well, if you've got good internet where you are, Kira, then you're one of the lucky ones, because it is not spreading fast enough. Especially not here in Germany, where everybody's like, nah, the old infrastructure's fine, what's the problem? We can make telephone calls on the old cable lines. What more do you need? And I'm like, how about to be able to stream without having my connection drop every 30 seconds? Well, Ari, every little bit of work that you put into a house you're working on is an improvement. I mean, unless you accidentally damage something or set it on fire, but that's a different matter. Yeah, it sucks most places, Ari. Either you need to be in a big city, or you need to be someplace where there's an individually, like, locally owned ISP. And there are few enough of those. But congrats on making progress with the renovations, Ari. It's always nice to be able to look at the house that you live in and see it get closer to what you want it to be. I know that feeling all too well because I helped my parents work on their house for all the time I lived there. And the place I'm in now, part of the deal that I got on rent was helping my landlord fix the place up. Which really just amounted to helping my landlord knock down walls in order to expand rooms. Which was fine. I enjoy knocking down walls and destroying stuff. Sledgehammers are cool. Huh. Yeah, Nick is pretty technically minded, Ari. Which is a very, very good set of skills to have. I wasn't aware that he was handy with tools, but it doesn't surprise me to hear that he is. Yeah, Systemi, cathartic is one way to describe it. It's more just... Yeah, I've always wanted to live out this fantasy of taking a sledgehammer and just hitting a wall. I don't know, I think that's something every man dreams of doing at least once in his life. And home renovations can be a way of living the dream. Another fun one was at a car show that I attended many, many years ago, back when I was still in high school. One of the attractions at the car show was that they hauled an old junk car out of a scrapyard, and you'd pay like $1 to take some swings at it with a sledgehammer. They, of course, removed all the stuff that was dangerous, like the windows and the gas tank and whatnot. But you could take a sledgehammer to this old hulk of a car and put as many dents in it as you could. And that was fun, too. No problem, Kira. Enjoy your lurk. Thank you so much for stopping in and gracing us with your presence and brightening up the room. You enjoy your dinner, and good luck with the portions. Or rather, the scaling of ingredients. Have a good night, Kira. Take care of yourself. Enjoy your meal. And I look forward to the next time I get to see you. And Mitkin, thank you so much for the resub. How are you doing, Mitkin? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages, but I also haven't seen pretty much everyone else in ages because I've been so tied down working on the guide. It has indeed been a bit. Thank you so much for the resub, Mitkin. Boy, I've been sitting here this whole time. I just got back to town from the dungeon, and I've done nothing but stand here. Although at this point, I think I've been up for a full 24 hours, so I'm getting to the stage where I'm too tired to go back into the dungeon, because I don't want to start something I can't finish. No, Aki, it's nowhere near out. The first book is probably going to print within the next couple of weeks. And once it's printed, it then has to be shipped and distributed. And we ran into some fairly hefty shipping delays this time around because we have to have it printed in Belgium because due to supply chain issues, we can't have it printed in Germany, which we ordinarily would. And unfortunately, the additional shipping times from Belgium have caused a delay. So the first book is delayed, and then the second book, as a result, was also delayed. Orcic, sometimes I feel like it's 2012. I know, it's been a long time since I've been able to do a stream, but I'm here doing one. Although, sadly, I think I'm probably going to have to head for bed relatively soon because the fatigue of having stayed up for 24 hours, most of which was working on the official strategy guide for Elden Ring, is now beginning to catch up with me. Well, no, Aki, for better or worse, it's just taken the past 9 months to get as far as we have making this book because Elden Ring is just such a big game. And there's that much information. And, I mean, we've been working non-stop pretty much this whole time since last November to gather all of that information, process it, get what we can from the developers, add that to what we've figured out on our own, and turn it into a nice-looking book with collector's value. Or 2 books with collector's value in this case, just because Elden Ring is such an enormous game that we couldn't fit everything into one. Yeah, Miscreant, that's why, because of shipping delays. I'm really sorry about that. On behalf of everyone at Future Press, I'm sorry about that, but we want to make sure that we do the best job we can, and that means doing a quality print. And we didn't have any other good options to get it printed at the quality we wanted, other than going through this place in Belgium. At least not that would have been financially tenable, you know? That's an interesting question, Systemi. I've never actually thought about that, but I suppose in many ways it does, because working on the guide gives me access to things like a debug build of the game and, you know, all of the developer tools, which enable me to figure things out that would be far, far more difficult to figure out without access to that stuff. And furthermore, it lets me see builds of the game before the game is done. You know, it gives me access to the game before it's finished, so I get to see behind the curtain, and, you know, I see early stuff that might not even make it into the final game, or I see systems get developed or added upon or refined or enhanced. And, of course, I gain access to all of the materials that are sent to us by the developers. And this isn't just FromSoft, by the way. This is just any guide in general. I'm speaking in broad strokes here. I get to see some of the developer materials with insights from the dev team that, you know, that just aren't present in the actual game or that are not overtly explained or stated. So, yeah, it gives me a whole new appreciation of the game from the standpoint of this is what went into making it, and this is how it evolved over the course of its development. Really the one thing that I give up in the process is getting to have a normal first playthrough. And for me, that's a sacrifice I'm perfectly willing to make. Because I get so much else out of it that it just makes up for what little I lose. Well, thank you for understanding, Miscreant. I appreciate it. It's just, I hate, and we all at Future Press, we hate not making an original deadline that we set. It sucks. But we're also not going to release a product that is not of the quality that we feel everyone deserves, and unfortunately sometimes that just means taking the extra time. But at the same time, if you've been around here for any length of time, which I know you have, you'll have heard me say frequently that if I had to choose between releasing something incomplete and inferior on time or releasing a product of good quality late, I will always choose taking the extra time to release the finished, complete, good quality project late. Oh, I've heard, Lumino, and I've seen the reviews on Amazon. What a mess that turned into, huh? Although, sadly, that was just Prima's MO. I owned a bunch of their guides. They're, like, really early guides. Well, maybe not really early, but I owned their Final Fantasy VII guide and a couple of others from around that time, so going back to like 1995, 96, 97, the PS1 era, their guides have always been like that. Always just fraught with errors, incomplete, missing stuff. Yeah, Katamai, for one reason or another, it just isn't always possible, unfortunately. But fortunately for us, for Future Press, our release dates are not inextricably tied to the release dates of the game. We do try to release on time for the game's release, but if it's not possible, we at least have the freedom to be able to say, yeah, can't do it, but even if we release late, we're at least not going to have any regrets about the quality of what we ship. Yeah, that's always been a thing with Prima, and with Brady as well, Miscreant. And I think that's part of the reason Future Press has survived as long as it has. You know, even before I joined up, I always noticed a significant difference in quality between Future Press's guides and everyone else's. And once I actually was introduced by Marcus to the team and became a part of that team and saw firsthand how they operate and how they do things and what their standards are, it became pretty clear why that is. Did it, Warrior? I'm not aware of that. I didn't realize. Do I have a favorite guide writing experience? You mean the ones that I've already done? Miscreant, the ones I've worked on? I guess you'd have to mean that, because I don't know what other frame of reference I'd have. But, my favorite experience... You know, I think probably Bloodborne, Miscreant. In terms of my favorite guide that I've worked on, and my favorite project as far as the process of production was concerned. Yeah, probably Bloodborne. Although, Elden Ring has been really interesting too. It's just dragged on for such a ridiculous amount of time. Not so favorite experiences? Well, Dark Souls 2 in hindsight, Systemi, but you knew that already. But even having said that, as much as I dislike the game itself, the actual process of working on the guide for Dark Souls 2, I still enjoyed. I mean, I was still doing something I was good at, and I still was applying skills that I hadn't really had a chance to use in pretty nearly any other area of my life. And say what you will about the game, but the Dark Souls 2 guide was my first project with Future Press, and I would do a number of things differently if I had to go back and do it all over again, but I'm still proud of the work I did on that book, and I learned a lot over the course of that project. Miscreant, Marcus is the entire reason I got involved with Future Press in the first place. They had... I guess what happened was, Frank, who is one of the co-owners of Future Press, Frank and the other guy is Jörg. Both of them are really nice guys. But I guess Frank had been listening to the 8-4 podcast, and during that particular episode of the podcast, the guys at 8-4 had been talking about Marcus. And this was back when Dark Souls 1 was still the hottest new thing. So it was a while ago. It was years now. I can't believe how many years have gone by since then, but they were looking for somebody to help them, someone from the community specifically, to help them write the strategy guide for Dark Souls 1. And they ended up getting to Marcus a little bit late for that. I guess Frank decided to approach him, and Marcus said, yeah, sure. And that's how Marcus got involved with Future Press. And then he helped them at their request with the Dark Souls 2 guide, and they got into trouble with their deadlines, and they realized that they needed more people. And so they asked Marcus if he knew anyone who could help, and apparently I was his pick. I was the one he recommended to them. According to him, this is the story as he told it to me. And I have no reason to disbelieve him, because, you know, Marcus isn't the kind of guy who lies. Not to his friends, not about stuff like that, at least. So, anyway, that's how I heard it from him. And that's how I got involved, so I owe it all to him, really. I did, Miscreant, yes. I did indeed work on the compendium, and I'll tell you something about the compendium. The entire lore chapter of the compendium I wrote pretty much single-handedly. I had some support, actually, with that section from Rachel, whom you might know as Qualag in the YouTube Souls community. She helped me out with some research and also proofread the chapter for me. But pretty much all of the writing and all of the references I did myself in that chapter. Miscreant, you did! We did a reprint of the Dark Souls 1 guide explicitly for the Dark Souls 1 remake. Oh, Demon Souls! I'm sorry, I misread that. No, we haven't done one for Demon Souls, unfortunately. But let me just say, Miscreant, we really, really would have liked to. We would have liked to. That is all I can say on that matter. But other than that, it breaks my heart that as yet we've been unable to. Because I would have been all over the opportunity to work on that. And holy hell, Miscreant, the compendium is going for $500 on eBay? My god, the scalping is out of control. But then again, I guess that's a side effect of those books having collector value. I guess, for better or worse, it's an unintended effect of the type of book that those books are. Well, you're right, Lumino. As clunky and dated as the controls were, they did such a good job with the lore delivery that they've never gotten even close to that kind of lore delivery in any of the subsequent games. The closest they got was Dark Souls 1. And even in Dark Souls 1, it just wasn't the same. But lest we spend the entire remainder of the evening reminiscing about the past, no, it didn't, Lumino. It was just... Well, I was about to say straightforward, but it wasn't entirely straightforward because a lot of it was actually quite subtle. But they did such a good job with the subtlety that it wasn't obnoxious, you know? I enjoy them too, Systemi, although, regretfully, I've now been up for probably 26 hours without sleep, due, as you might expect, to my work on the guide, and wanting to make absolutely sure that I finish revising the NPC chapter before the whole thing goes off to print, because, again, quality. So unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to call it now, and in fact I am gonna have to call it now just because I need some rest. However, what we are going to do, and I do hope you'll all stick around for this, is we're going to go raid a very good friend of mine, one Princess Cat Power, whom some of you might already know, but if you do not know her, please stick around for this because you're going to absolutely love her. She is once again just an unbelievably kind and sweet and wonderful person, and I really adore her, and I think all of you will as well. She is currently playing Alan Wake. How about that? I haven't seen that game in ages. So come on with me, and let's go make her evening. Let's surprise her with a nice raid. And I don't know when I will get to see all of you next. Hopefully it will be fairly soon, because I'm thinking I'll be done with my current round of revisions within the next few days. And if I manage to pull that off, then you'd better believe I will be streaming again immediately afterward. So thank you all very much for joining me. I really appreciate everyone's company. It's been great seeing you all, although I wish I could have streamed longer. And I look forward to seeing all of you next time. Take care, everyone. Let's go make Cat's evening.